The late autumn breeze carried a quiet chill through the air as I stood by the basketball court, waiting for my best friend Ryan to finish his last shot. The sun was dipping low behind the school building, painting the sky in soft shades of orange and gold. That's when I saw her. Emily Carter, the new girl, the kind who didn't even need to speak to make the world notice her. She had that effortless grace, messy blonde hair tied in a loose ponytail, soft green eyes that somehow looked curious and distant at the same time, and a smile that made every heartbeat a little faster. I remember nudging Ryan and saying, "Bro, look at her. Wow."
She's out of your league, Ethan.
I laughed it off, but deep down, I already knew she wasn't just another pretty face. Something about her felt different, like a quiet storm that could change everything. The next few weeks, Emily slowly became a part of our small world. She joined our art class, sat 2 desks away from me, and sometimes asked me for help with assignments. Every time she said my name, it sounded like music.
Ryan, of course, noticed my interest. He'd tease me. "You're blushing again, lover boy."
Maybe I am. She's special, man. What I didn't know was that he had started noticing more than just my feelings. One evening, we were all hanging out near the cafe across from school. Emily laughed at one of Ryan's jokes, and for a second, I caught something in her eyes. Warmth, connection. But it wasn't for me, it was for him. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, trying to tell myself it was nothing, that she just liked him as a friend, that Ryan would never do something to hurt me. Because Ryan wasn't just my friend, he was my brother. We'd been through everything together. From sleepless gaming nights to sharing the same dreams of starting a business one day. We promised we'd never let a girl come between us. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. The next day, Ryan started acting differently. He'd mention Emily casually, her favorite band, the way she smiled when she talked about her dog, the coffee she liked. I noticed the shift, his tone, his eyes, his growing interest. And the worst part, Emily started looking at him the same way I looked at her. A week later, I got the confirmation I didn't want. Ryan and I were hanging out by the park. I was scrolling through my phone when I saw a photo on social media. Emily and Ryan sitting together in that same cafe, her head resting on his shoulder. My hands went cold. Ryan looked at me, guilt flickering in his eyes for a moment, but he didn't say a word. He didn't need to. Everything between us, years of friendship, brotherhood, trust, cracked in that one silent moment. That night, I didn't sleep. Because sometimes, heartbreak doesn't come from a girl, it comes from the person you never thought would betray you. Rain poured over the quiet streets that night, blurring the city lights into streaks of gold and silver. I sat inside my car outside Emily's apartment, my fingers gripping the steering wheel tighter than I realized. The photo I'd seen online kept replaying in my mind, Emily's smile, Ryan's arm around her. I wanted to believe it was fake, a misunderstanding, something I could laugh about later, but deep down, I knew. My phone buzzed, a message from Ryan. I stared at it for a while, then replied, "Is it true?"
Ethan, man, I didn't plan for this to happen.
Don't give me that. You knew how I felt about her.
I did. But she chose me, Ethan. I can't control her feelings.
She chose me. Right. She chose the funny one, the confident one, the one who always wins.
Come on, man, don't make it sound like that. But it was like that. Always had been.
In school he got the attention, the praise, the spotlight, and I was always the shadow, the quiet one, the thinker, the loyal friend. You could have had anyone, Ryan, anyone but her. You didn't just take the girl I liked, you broke something that'll never fix again. That night, I texted Emily. "I hope you're happy," she replied a few minutes later.
"Ethan, I never meant to hurt you. I didn't plan this."
I stared at her message, anger and sadness mixing in my chest. You didn't plan it, but you didn't stop it either. I didn't wait for her reply. I deleted the chat and threw my phone aside. Days turned into weeks. Ryan stopped trying to talk to me. Emily avoided me in school, and I pretended I was fine. But I wasn't. Every time I saw them together, laughing, walking, holding hands, it felt like my heart was cracking all over again. I tried to focus on work, on my goals, on anything but them. But heartbreak is cruel. It shows up in songs, in places, in silence. And sometimes, it shows up in regret, the kind that doesn't fade with time. One afternoon I saw Emily alone in the library. She looked up startled when our eyes met. I walked over, calm on the outside, storming on the inside. Does he make you happy?
He tries.
Then I hope he never hurts you like you both hurt me. For a moment guilt filled her eyes, maybe even sadness, but it didn't matter anymore. Because some wounds don't need apologies, they need distance. That night, I made a decision. I was done chasing people who didn't value me. If I was going to rise again, it wouldn't be for revenge. It would be to become someone they'd regret losing. 3 months. That's how long it took me to finally stop checking her profile every night. The heartbreak didn't vanish overnight. It just dulled, like a scar you still feel when the rain falls. But one morning, I looked at myself in the mirror and realized something. I'd spent too long being the nice guy who waited for people to see my worth. It was time to become someone they couldn't ignore. I started small, woke up early, joined the gym near campus. At first, I was the awkward guy lifting too little and sweating too much. But with each passing day, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Control. Control over my pain, over my thoughts, over my life. Every rep, every drop of sweat, was anger burning away, and confidence taking its place. Then came the change people could see. I updated my wardrobe, started posting photos from my hikes, and joined the film club, something I'd always wanted to do but never had the guts for. That's where I met Luna. She wasn't like Emily. Luna was calm, mysterious, and carried herself like she didn't need validation from anyone. She wasn't trying to impress, she just was.
You're Ethan, right? I saw your short film idea on the board. It's deep. You've got something.
No one had said that to me before. Not Ryan, not Emily. For the first time, someone saw me. Weeks passed. Luna and I began working together. Late nights editing, laughing over coffee, sharing secrets we'd never told anyone.
You have sad eyes, Ethan. Yeah, like someone who loved too deeply and got burned.
You're not wrong.
Then maybe it's time you stop letting that fire burn you, and start letting it light your path.
Those words hit hard. That night, I rewrote my story. Literally, I turned my heartbreak into a short film script called The Friend Who Took Everything. It wasn't about revenge, it was about healing, self-worth, and choosing yourself when no one else does. When the film premiered at the campus festival, people clapped, some cried, and among the crowd were Ryan and Emily. I hadn't invited them, but they came. They watched the story unfold, my pain, my journey, my transformation, without a word.
Bro, I didn't know you felt that deeply.
You didn't need to. You just needed to care.
He nodded, speechless. Emily stood beside him, her eyes glistening with something between regret and admiration. But this time I didn't feel broken. I felt free. Luna. Ready to celebrate? Ethan. Yeah, let's go. Narrator. VO. As we walked away, I realized something powerful. Sometimes losing people isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of who you're meant to become. Love built on betrayal never lasts long. And karma. It doesn't come knocking. It waits, quietly sharpening its blade. Months had passed since my short film premiere. Life felt peaceful, finally. I wasn't chasing anyone's approval anymore. My days were filled with projects, classes, and moments with Luna that felt like warm sunsets after endless storms. But peace has a strange way of attracting ghosts. Narrator, VO. It started with a text from an unknown number. No one, narrator, Satinan VO. I stared at the message, heart steady this time. No anger, no longing, just curiosity. I didn't reply. Hours later, another message. The old me would have melted reading that, but now, I just smiled faintly and put my phone aside.
Hey man, can we talk?
I didn't want drama, but I nodded.
Emily and we're not doing good. I don't know what happened, man. After everything, she's just distant.
You sure it's her? Or maybe it's the guilt finally catching up.
For a while, neither of us spoke. The silence was heavy, not angry, but real.
Ethan, I was jealous of you. You were always kind, and she loved that. I thought if I took her from you, maybe I'd feel like I won. But I didn't win. I lost both of you.
That night, I got another text from Emily. For the first time, I didn't feel any urge to run back, because the truth was, the version of me she loved no longer existed. Still, a part of me wanted closure, so I agreed to meet. The cafe was quiet when she walked in, same blonde hair, same soft smile, but her eyes told a different story. She'd changed too, just not in the same way.
Ethan, you look amazing. I made a mistake. I thought Ryan had what I needed. Security, confidence. But he didn't have you. I was scared, Ethan. My family always wanted me to marry someone successful. You were just real, and I was too shallow to see it.
For a moment, silence hung between us, heavy with everything we used to be.
I forgive you, but I've moved on, Emily. I had to.
She nodded slowly, tears falling. I know, I just needed to hear that. She stood up to leave, and as she walked away, I felt the final chapter of our story quietly close. That night, Luna and I sat on the campus rooftop, the city lights glowing below. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said, smiling. "For the first time, I really am." She leaned her head on my shoulder. "You know, Ethan, sometimes the people who break us are the same ones who teach us what love shouldn't feel like." I looked at her calm, kind eyes, and realized she was right. Because sometimes, regret doesn't destroy you. It rebuilds you, stronger, wiser, and finally ready for something real. Fame doesn't heal wounds, it just hides them behind bright lights and applause. A year later, my short film Parallel Hearts went viral on social media. Overnight, my life changed. People started calling me the next rising filmmaker, and I got an offer from a small Hollywood production company to direct my first feature-length project. The world that once ignored me now couldn't stop watching. But with success comes shadows, especially the ones you thought you'd left behind. The premiere night was surreal. Cameras flashed, champagne sparkled, and people I didn't even know came up to congratulate me. Yet, in the middle of the glittering chaos, I saw them, Ryan and Emily. They stood near the entrance, both wearing smiles that didn't quite reach their eyes. My heart didn't race this time. I wasn't nervous or angry, just curious.
Ethan, congrats, man, you made it.
We watched your film. It was beautiful, and it felt like...
Like our story?
She froze.
That's because it was. Every scene, every heartbreak, it came from what you two gave me.
Later that night, during a quiet after-party on the balcony, Ryan found me again.
Look, I don't expect forgiveness, but watching your film tonight, I realized how much I messed up. Emily left me, said she couldn't love me the same way she loved you.
Ryan, the thing about betrayal is, it doesn't destroy you instantly. It eats you slowly, piece by piece. But when you finally survive it, you come out bulletproof.
I guess I'm still bleeding.
As I walked back inside, I found Luna, my co-writer and the person who'd stood by me through every sleepless night of production.
Ready for your speech, director?
I looked at her, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. When I stood at the podium, the crowd fell silent. Cameras pointed at me. I began.
A few years ago, I was just a guy who believed love was forever. Then life proved me wrong. But pain can be the best teacher if you let it be.
I looked toward Luna, her eyes glistening with quiet pride.
To anyone who's ever been betrayed, remember, your story doesn't end there. Sometimes it just begins.
The room erupted in applause. After the event, Emily approached one last time.
You were amazing. I'm proud of you, Ethan, really.
Thank you, Emily. I hope you find what you're looking for.
I already did. I just didn't recognize it when I had it.
She walked away into the crowd, fading like a memory finally released. That night, I stood under the city lights, feeling the wind brush against my face. Luna slipped her hand into mine.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I think I finally forgave the past.
Good, because the future's waiting.
The film's success didn't just change my career, it changed me. For the first time in years, I wasn't haunted by the past. I had peace, ambition, and someone new who made me believe in love again. Her name was Luna Hayes. She was my co-writer, my creative partner, and, somehow, the light that quietly filled the cracks Emily had left behind. But as life often does, just when everything felt perfect, it twisted. It started one night in my apartment. We were editing the script for my next movie, The Distance Between Us. Luna sat on the couch, laptop in her lap, her hair falling messily over one shoulder. I watched her, not as a writer, but as a man realizing he might be falling again.
Ethan, she said softly, not looking up. How do you write about heartbreak so perfectly?
I smiled faintly. Because I've lived it. And as not the stans drawn to near son side verdi.
She looked up then, eyes shimmering. And if love found you again, would you trust it?
I hesitated. I'd try, but I'd need to know it wasn't another illusion. A few nights later, I noticed something strange. A photo fell out of Luna's notebook. An old picture of her, younger, standing beside Emily. My heart froze. Emily, my ex, the one who'd betrayed me, and Luna, together, smiling like sisters. I picked it up carefully. What's this?
Ethan, please let me explain.
You're related to her?
She's my cousin.
The silence between us was deafening. Luna explained everything. Emily's family had always looked down on her for being different, for chasing art instead of money. Luna had moved away, cut ties and built her own life. When she met me years later, she already knew who I was, but didn't tell me. Afraid I'd hate her for it.
I didn't come into your life to reopen your wounds, Ethan. I came because I loved your words. And then, I loved you.
I turned away, the memories flooding back. Emily's betrayal, Ryan's lies, the pain I'd buried under years of silence. Do you know how hard I fought to forget her? And now, every time I look at you, I'll see her shadow.
Then look deeper, because I'm not her. I never was.
That night, she left without another word, and once again, my apartment felt like a graveyard of memories. I poured myself a glass of whiskey, staring out the window at the neon-lit city. I'd finally forgiven my past, but destiny wasn't done testing me. Days turned into weeks. The production of my next film slowed down. I couldn't focus. Everything reminded me of Luna, her laugh, her handwriting, her belief in me when I doubted myself. Then one evening, a package arrived. It was a brown envelope, no name, just my address. Inside was a handwritten letter from Luna.
Ethan, I never meant to be part of your story's pain. I only wanted to help you write its healing. You don't have to forgive me, but please know, every word, every scene we wrote together came from love.
And attached to it was a single photo, the same old picture of her and Emily, but this time Luna had drawn a line through Emily's face, and written beneath it, "I'm not her, I'm me." Tears blurred my vision. For years, I'd been running from ghosts, from betrayal, heartbreak, guilt. But maybe the only way to truly move on was to stop comparing every new light to the darkness that came before. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and ran into the rain. When I reached Luna's apartment, she was about to leave for the airport, suitcase in hand, rain pouring around her. "Luna!" She turned, startled. "I don't care who you're related to, because what we have, it's not a reflection of my past, it's my future." Her eyes widened, tears mixing with the rain. "You once asked if I'd trust love again. Here's my answer, yes, but only if it's you." She dropped her suitcase and ran into my arms. Under the stormy sky we kissed, the kind of kiss that didn't erase the past, but rewrote it. For the first time, I wasn't Ethan the broken lover. I was Ethan, the man who finally found love, not in perfection, but in forgiveness. The city was drenched in silver rain, and yet that night, everything felt alive. After years of chasing ghosts and grief, I had Luna. And somehow, that was enough. We weren't perfect. We carried scars, but they fit together like pieces of a broken mirror that, when held just right, still reflected something beautiful. For months, things were peaceful. Our movie wrapped up and premiered in New York. Critics called it a story that bleeds honesty. And maybe that's why it hurt so much when the past returned. Not as a memory, but as a living, breathing reminder of everything I'd buried. It happened on the night of our film's success party. The lights were golden, champagne glasses sparkled, and Luna looked breathtaking in her silver dress, the same shade as the first rain we'd kissed under. We were surrounded by cameras, producers, fans, but my focus was only on her. Until a familiar voice froze me in place.
Congratulations, Ethan.
I turned, and there she was, Emily. Her hair shorter, her eyes colder, but her smirk exactly the same. Luna stiffened beside me. Emily's gaze shifted from me to her cousin, a hint of cruel amusement curling on her lips.
So it's true, Emily said softly. You too. She took a sip of champagne. I guess you always wanted what I had, huh, Luna?
This isn't about you anymore, Emily.
Oh, sweetheart, Emily whispered, stepping closer. It's always been about me.
The tension was unbearable. Every guest around us seemed to fade as old wounds reopened. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the nights I'd spent trying to erase her from my soul.
You know, Ethan, I never cheated for love. I did it for survival. Ryan offered me the life I thought I wanted. But watching you now, I realize I lost something real.
Her words cut deep, like a blade pressed against an old scar. But when I looked at Luna, the woman who stayed, who believed in me when I didn't, I finally understood something simple, but powerful. I didn't want revenge. I wanted peace. Emily, I said, my voice steady, I hope you find what you're looking for, but whatever it is, it's not me anymore. Yeah, for the first time I really do.
Every time it rains, it feels like a chapter closing.
Or maybe, it's just the world reminding us to start again.
Then promise me something, Ethan.
What?
That no matter what storms come next, we won't let the past write our future.
The movie became a symbol of redemption, not just for me, but for everyone who's ever lost themselves in love and found a way back. Luna and I started our own production company, aptly named Rainlight Studios. Every film we made told stories about second chances, forgiveness, and the courage to love again.
Funny how Heartbreak brought us here.
Yeah, sometimes the best love stories don't start with once upon a time. They start with never again, and this time, it truly was forever.